Hello friends, welcome to Depth Tech Inside, your go-to channel for everything tech and development. In today's video, we'll dive into Redux Toolkit, a powerful tool to manage application state more efficiently. And what's better way to learn than by building a mini project together? We'll be creating a simple yet functional shopping cart application using Redux Toolkit, React, and a clean UI. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to set up a Redux Toolkit in a React project, create slices, reduces, and action, dispatch action to add and remove item, and to connect the Redux to your UI seamlessly. So, grab a cup of your coffee, open up your code editor, and let's get started. So, as you just saw, I created a brand new React app. I'll be moving a bit quickly in this video so we can cover the entire content in one go. But don't worry, I'll make sure to explain everything clearly so your learning and conceptual understanding stay on track. Let's dive in. So meanwhile, let's create and the necessary folders and file therein before starting off with our code. And generally, the app.jsx being the root file over here, but we will create additionally an index.jsx file, which will be a root file over here. Okay, in our React app. Now let's import the create slice from the Redux toolkit by easily create the action and reduces. Now initialize the state of the cart holding the cart items in an empty array. Then create a slice with cart related logic. That is now name of the slice used in the action type. Then setting the initial state. Then action to add an item to the cart. Okay, that is add to cart logic that we are doing it here right now. Check if the item is if already existing in the cart. If it exists, just increase the quantity. If not, then add the item with the quantity 1. Okay, so this for this we are doing the if else, handling the if else logic over here. As you can see, now we will create an action to remove an item completely from the cart. For that, we will handle the remove from cart logic to filter out the items with the matching ID. Okay, as you can see over here, we are doing. Now increment, now we'll add an action to increment the quantity of an item in the cart. For that, we will handle the logic for increment quantity to find the item and increase the quantity. Okay, now likewise we will do an action to decrement the quantity of an item. If the quantity, if the quantity is more than 1, then decrease it. If only 1 left in the cart, then remove the item from the cart by filtering it out, as we are doing it over here inside the decrement quantity part. Okay, so as you can see, the if and else logic is handled very well. To repeat it over here, okay, so exporting the action creator to use in your component. For that, we are doing to export our actions that we created and exporting the reducers to configure in the state. For JSX file, we use configure store from the Redux toolkit to set up our global Redux store. We imported our card reducer from the card slice and assigned it to the card key inside the reducer object. This means all the card related state and logic will be accessible under the state.card throughout our application. Just pay attention further after this. Now let's import the React, and the use dispatch is the React Redux hook to dispatch the actions that you can see we created recently. So now importing the add to cart action from our create slice. Okay, importing, then we shall import the product images. Okay, that you can find here in the asset sections. Then creating a static array of the product object with id, name, price, and images as below inside the products array. Okay, now, let's create a functional component to display the product list. Okay, getting the dispatch function from the Redux with use dispatch and function to dispatch add to cart action when add to cart button is clicked. Okay, then we'll come to the returns section, that the way that we would be displaying our elements. Okay, and then exporting the product list component. Okay, so let's just quickly import our use selector and use dispatch hooks from the Redux React Redux. The use selector, which is used to read the data from the Redux store, and use dispatch, which is used to dispatch action to the store. Okay, now let's import the action from the cart slice, that is remove from cart increment quantity and decrement quantity from feature slash cart slice component that we created earlier. Okay, and now let's create a functional component to display the items in the cart. Okay, the component named cart. Now, let's access the cart item from the Redux store using the use selector hook. Okay, that is now something here you can see cart state.cart, which I told you we would be using throughout our component to access the state. Okay, so we are using it over here, and now getting the dispatch function to the send action. Okay, using the use dispatch. Okay, now let's calculate the total price of all the item in the cart and holding the value inside the total. Okay, and now let's just create the element the way that we would want it to show. Okay, now, so for that, okay, now let's just to revise in a cart.jsx component, we are using the use selector to access the cart item from the Redux store. Each item is displayed with its name, price, and quantity. We provide plus and minus button to adjust the quantity with using Redux action, and the remove button to delete. Now moving to our app.jsx component, let's just import our product list and cart component inside the app.jsx and wrap it inside the container in our app component. Okay, now after that we'll move to our index.jsx component, which is our root file wherein we will be wrapping our app component over here. For that we will import our app and the provider from the React Redux and store from the from the store component. Now let's just wrap our app component inside the provider, which makes accessible the store to our app. Okay, so this just completes our project. After that, like we will just move to see how our actually page looks like, and later we will provide some css to.